Welcome back, everybody. I'm Chris Temple of the National Investor and MC of the upcoming Better in Our Backyard Mining and Energy Expo, which we're getting lots of new registrations for by the week. We hope you'll be one of those to join us if you're not already. And between here and there, we're visiting with a few of the companies and personalities that are going to be present. And today I have with me Nancy Schlepp. She is Vice President of Government Affairs and Communications for Sandfire Resources America, a Montana-based story. Nancy, glad you could join me.
Thanks, Chris. So nice to be here today.
Well, you and I, before I recorded, we could have gone on all the rest of the week talking about Montana stories because you're a native Montanan and your family roots go back a few generations there. I lived there for most of the 1990s in the Flathead Valley, and so I have a special love for the state. And also realize that Montana has got a very rich endowment, as do many U.S. states, of all the different kinds of critical metals and minerals and energy and things that we need as we, at long last, are on the quest as a country to get back to a place where we can meet more of those needs within our own four walls, so to speak. So, how did you come to get involved with Sandfire?
Well, thanks for asking, Chris. You're absolutely right. Montana is the treasure state. That's our motto, is we're the treasure state, and on our state flag is Ora y Plata, gold and silver. So our state was started with mining. That's how my family came here. We're silver miners in a little town called Castletown. So it is a long history of mining in this entire region. And it really is great to see that we're finally starting to produce again in this area. There are a few mines left here right now. We have the only palladium mine in America, and we do have a few copper mines that are going in a gold mine. So it is great. Mining is not my background. My background is mostly federal government relations and international trade, but in my community where I live here in Marr County, White Sulphur Springs, where this project is going to happen, is where my family has ranched for. I'm the fourth generation of that, and so we always lived here, and I traveled a bunch,
Very
and
cool.
so I got involved in this project because. I was a county commissioner at the time, and in a small county, that means about 1 day a week. And so you keep your day job. And so I was a county commissioner here. And when this company was coming in, the senior vice president of our company, Jerry Zig, he had grown up here. And we knew him, but we didn't know anyone else. So I used all of my connections to look into this company and find out who they were and what they were about. And every single connection back to me was these are quality people that you want in your community and that you want to work with. So as a community, that gave us a lot of courage to embrace a Greensfield gold or copper mine, excuse me, coming to our community. In 2013, I came aboard with Tintina, Montana,
Yep.
on a 3-year contract to permit a mine because that's what it was supposed to take to permit a mine then. And I'm still here, so it obviously took longer than expected, and but we're making really good progress.
That's neat. You talk about the quality people involved, and while you were going through that, Nancy, I had your resume from the company website up there to show a lot of your other involvements. I mean, among other things, you're chair of the State Chamber of Commerce in Montana, so that's a nice
Yes.
accolade. But along with all the other quality, you've got a very quality and now pretty much development stage copper asset. So give us a quick Cliff Notes version of the story of the Black Butte Copper Project.
We have a great story. It starts way back in the 70s. There was a company called Kamenko coming through this area looking for zinc. And unfortunately, they didn't find zinc. They hired Jerry Zig. That's how he got involved back then in the project. And in 1984, they hit this copper deposit. But copper prices were not very good at that time, and the company wasn't interested in it and let that lease go. This is leased on all private ranch land. And so then, fast forward 20 years, when prices started coming back up around 2008, there were a lot of companies interested. So the ranchers got a hold of Jerry. He had moved on with his career and he worked at Nova Gold and asked their investors to invest in this project, and they did. And they found more copper than they ever expected. And so that was really the start of this project. And so and it's very high grade copper. Our overall grade sits right under 3%. So it is phenomenal. This will be a completely underground mine. And we're doing a lot of innovative things environmentally to make this probably the premier mine for technology into the 21st century. So it's exciting that way. We started our permitting process in 2015 and completely got through it by 2020. And we got our permit in March of 2020, and COVID hit the next week. And as we all know, any project of this size is going to have legal challenges. And really, what has slowed this project down is that our legal system just shut down like all over the US and world for about 18 months. And
Yep.
then they were backed up. And so we just won both of our legal challenges that we had in 2024 in 5-2 decisions in our Montana Supreme Court, which is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And now we're ready to go. So that triggered a 17-month drilling program on our permitted deposit to get more information on all of the technical information that we'll need, the metallurgy, the geotechnical that will feed into an updated pre-feasibility study this fall, and then a feasibility study. And that's what our board and our investors will need to make a decision on when to go forward. So the best case scenario for us would probably be going forward with construction the end of next year, but I'm betting it's 2027. So, and that's if all the stars align and the information's good, but that's best case scenario.
But it's still within, what I mean, we all know how fast time goes these days, and
Yes,
2027 will be here before we know it. The important thing is
yes.
you've overcome the legal challenges, and then you can start to look at development decisions, project financing, and things like that. And of course, you probably tell a story better than most because that's your job in representing Sandfire. About how much more copper we need in this country, and not just mining, but all of the downstream things that are necessary for that.
Absolutely. On the copper front, in my opinion, it's getting driven by two different areas, and economics is my degree, business and economics. So I love this area, but it's really being driven by our world becoming more sustainable. Every windmill you see has 4 tons of copper in it. Every electric engine has 5 or 6 times the copper as a regular engine. So that's part of the story. The other story, I think, which is good for all of us, is that we have some third world countries becoming second world countries. And so you take a country that's really developing like India. And what is the first thing you want? You want your food to last longer. You want refrigeration in some of those rural areas.
You want
And
to be
that's
able to flip a light switch.
absolutely.
You don't want to cook, you don't
I
want
want
to
my
cook
hot
tonight's,
water in the
yeah.
morning.
You don't want to cook tonight's dinner over dried cow dung.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing the electrification of these countries, that their standard of living is improving. And I think we should want that for all humans. And so that's really driving the market too.
It
One
is.
of the,
It
yeah,
is.
one,
There's an awakening, and of course, this is what Better in Our Backyard is all about: is to get that learning curve for the population in general, and get that mentality pushed back that thinks milk comes from a grocery store, kind of thing.
exactly.
And people don't realize, when they're virtue signaling on their smartphone about how we need to shut down mining, well, then get rid of your smartphone because you got 30 some odd different metals and minerals in that phone that didn't fall out of the sky, you know.
Right. Right.
They were mined.
Everybody depends on mining and natural resources. The entire industry has always just been my passion is I think for the most part industry does a really good job. Sometimes we just don't do a great job of communicating that. And
Well,
so
yeah, and
things
there's
have changed tremendously. We had legacy
sure.
issues and now it's different and we need to really be proud of that and share that with the public.
Well, and in fact, and I'm going to share a link to this too, along with certain things about Sandfire as well when we put this video out, Nancy. But I'm sure you know the name Rob McEwen, who is one of the most successful and best known mining executives in North American history. He's in the process of building a copper mine in a lot. It's a pretty unforgiving place compared to Montana, where you've got first world infrastructure and whatnot. He's way up in the Andes, up in the mountains, removed from civilization. And the vision that he has, and of course, he and Elon Musk are buddies, the vision that he has could very well have been created. Maybe it was, at least informally by Musk for the copper project he's putting together that's getting a lot of attention down in Argentina. I mean, this is going to be state of the art green uh, from top to bottom as far as what they're going to do reclamation wise in the end, but even along the way in mining and taking care of communities and whatnot, things have changed very, very dramatically over the years as far as how safe and efficient and good mining can be, and especially at a time that we need all these things. Real quick before I let you go, Nancy, tell us about how you first got involved in Better in Our Backyard and how you see them, as well as I think the broader landscape of what state and federal attitudes are, because I know they've changed. When I first moved to Montana in 1990, that was right when they passed a ban on new cyanide heat bleaching. They were trying to shut the whole darn state down. And things have gotten a lot better, I know, since then.
That was really kind of the end of a lot of exploration in Montana for mining in general when they passed that. The cyanide ban just closed down all exploration and we were named as an area that wasn't good to mine. And quite truthfully, our whole process with this has been really positive. We've had really great luck working with our Department of Environmental Quality.
Good.
We've had a super interaction with all of our elected officials on the state and federal level. It's just been a positive experience for us. I think we are open for business here, which is great to know. And on that front, I think we're going to be a lot like the new projects. Has a lot of innovation. One of the things I'll share about at the conference is our cemented tailings facility.
Hmm.
It's going to be state of the art, and we won't have any tailings left on site at the close of the mine during reclamation. So it's really a fantastic project that way. And we also are going to have a cutting edge community benefits agreement, which I'm happy to share more
Nice.
about. And then your last question was, how did I get involved in Better and Back in my backyard? And Ryan had reached out and was interested in our project years ago before he started the company. So that's when I first visited with him and kind of put that off the radar screen. But I've been following on LinkedIn for quite a while. The work that the organization is doing is absolutely phenomenal, and the message is terrific. And in my backyard is something we better all start saying. And in fact, I
Right.
heard a professor at University of Montana, a water professor, even say it that his opinions have changed, that we need to say yes in my backyard instead of no in my backyard. And it is just a great organization. I love the vision, and we are really happy to be part of it.
Well, I'm glad you are too. I'm looking forward to getting able to visit with you more and talk
Me
about
too.
Montana more when we see
Yes.
it several weeks hence. And so, Nancy, thank you very, very much. And folks, again, I'll have some links to Sandfires generally, to their Black Butte project specifically. They've got a really cool informational video. I'll give you the link to that. And Nancy, I look forward to seeing you. Thanks for coming And folks, again, if you're not already registered, you'll see the link here as well to register to attend the conference. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you, Chris. Have a terrific weekend.
You too.